What is happening, fishing friends? Welcome to another episode on the KastKing channel. Today we need to talk about some pro rods. Let's talk about the flipping stick. Now this is one of my favorite rods in the lineup. It's not your standard, broomstick flipping stick that a lot of people think of when you hear that word. This is an extremely light setup. This rod itself comes in at only 5.1 ounces. Now a lot of that has to do with the fact that they're using their proprietary elite carbon blank in these rods, coupled with the fact that they're using nano resins. It makes for a very light yet very strong flipping stick. This rod happens to be 7 foot 5 inches, heavy power, fast action, rated for lines 15 to 30 pounds, and lures 3/8 to 2 ounces. There happens to be a total of 11 plus 1 guides on this baby, and I tell you what, it is smooth to flip. It's a very light rod, and that definitely helps when you're out all day flipping wood and bushes and grass. You're making a whole bunch of flips in a day, and if you've got a big, huge broomstick that's very heavy, that can tire you out. It tires out your wrist, your shoulder. When you've got a nice, light combo, it does really help. Because oftentimes it comes down to the angler that makes more pitches that day is going to win. This rod has a good, flexible, yet fast tip. You can see there, when you start bending that, it's only the end, maybe 15, 20-ish% of the rod. That allows you to feel every single bit of those little bites that you get. And as you're bringing it over cover rocks, sticks, if you've got a real mushy, soft rod, it almost feels like you're using a pool noodle to pull it over those. With a good, stiff, fast action rod like this, you're going to be able to feel everything down there and drag it across those rocks. Now, of course, just because it says flipping on it doesn't mean this has to be a dedicated flipping stick. This rod would also do well for heavier swim baits, or what I've been using it for, don't tell anyone, but it's actually been my other frogging rod. If you're flipping the real heavy, thick stuff, chances are you're probably throwing a frog in that as well. So if you have 2 of these, you can use one for flipping and the other for frogging. Makes a killer frog rod setup. Now, if you're flipping or frogging on this setup, I don't go anything below a 7/0-1 reel. I happen to have the Royal Legend on here with some 20-pound fluorocoat. But the Speed Demon would also make an excellent option for this, especially if you're flipping and pitching and frogging. All of those go great with a very fast reel. You can get the bait in quicker, you can make that next flip, toss that next cast out for your next frog. And if you do get them hooked in the thick stuff, you can just get them winched out that much quicker. Don't think you need to reel that fast? Well, the next time you hook a fish in a tree and it turns back in and gets you all wrapped up, you might want a faster reel. Now, as far as line goes, I like to go as heavy of a nylon line as I can when I'm flipping and pitching around wood. You can go 100% fluorocarbon. I tend to go with a copolymer. Again, this is the KastKing Fluorocoat. 20 or 25 pound is what I would recommend. I err on the side of heavy just in case. If you're frogging or just prefer braid, I would go with a 50 or 65 pound braid just in case you get in the real thick stuff. When you're flipping and pitching in heavy cover like I've been, I've just got a little straight worm here. Not a lot of appendages. Don't want a bunch to get caught on the wood. I go with the slimmer profile. Something like this or a ringtail worm works really well. When it comes to the knot on here, it's hard to go wrong with the old Palomar knot. Whether you're using a nylon line or braid, works well with both of those. I tend to go with the double shindo knot just for the sheer strength factor that knot has. Be sure to check out the playlist at the end of this video for more information on these technique-specific rods. And if you're looking for information on one rod in particular, check out the description below. We'll have all those linked for you. Of course, if you have any questions at all on any of these rods, leave your questions and comments below. They would be happy to help you out. Please consider subscribing to the KastKing channel for more informative videos and, well, technique-specific videos just like this one in the future. And until next time.